communication, as it says up there on the screen, as you all can see, it says 87% of communication is listening. Going back to what Tova talked about, it's the awareness. All right, communication and awareness are so kind of intertwined, because I need to be aware of my nonverbal, I need to be aware of my posture, I need to be aware in how do I respond to you, okay? And I need to be aware of what am I doing when my child says something? Because those teen years are sticky, are hard, are challenging. And if we can slow it down, we need to practice this. And it's something you can practice, is the slowing down and the listening.
Okay, so have you ever had someone say to you, don't feel that way? You shouldn't be angry. You shouldn't be so sad. Have you said it to your children? Okay, so let's start with this basic principle. They are not right or wrong. They are messages, they are messengers to you. They're trying to tell you something. So the first thing I want you to know, you want to learn how to handle your kids' feelings, and you need to learn how to handle yours. First, let's talk about that. But is that quit judging. You wouldn't say, oh, bad pain, right? You shouldn't feel pain just because you stabbed yourself. Like, yes, you feel pain, and it's telling you something. So if you can, first message for you is stop judging your children's feelings, your spouse's feelings, or yours, okay, or your friends or anybody else's. Let's just see if we can work from that.
My name is Robin Hathaway, and I am one of the nurses at Kendall Christian School. And we are a K-2 through 5th grade private school here in Miami, Florida. We are a Christian organization, and we do have a strong mission to prepare our students to succeed in life. Mental health is really important for not only our staff, our students, but also our parents. And if there's a deficit in that area, students are not going to learn, teachers are not going to be able to teach, and parents won't have the tools to equip their children to succeed in life. Our school collaborated with Wellspring in the spring of 2022. We were gearing up to graduate our 5th graders to continue into middle school. As I said, we are a preschool and elementary school, so we don't have a middle at this time. And we really wanted to make sure that our students were prepared to succeed in middle school. And we know a lot of that starts at home. So I approached Alicia Foss and spoke with her about a presentation on how to develop socially, emotionally, and spiritually healthy kids, and how our parents can maintain healthy relationships with our children, not just in the elementary years, but tools to really equip them for the preteen and teen years. Our parents were really excited. Alicia is great at captivating our audience. She can relate with them. She did a great job of just connecting, and our parents were just really engaged the entire presentation. One of the things that we really learned with Alicia was to listen intentionally. As parents, and even as a healthcare provider, we try to fix, and we're quick to fix a solution and already have an answer in our minds, and not necessarily listen to the question or the explanation from the child.
My name is Jamie Sutta, and I'm the founder and artistic director of an organization called the Children's Voice Chorus. We are a nonprofit community children's chorus in the southern part of Miami-Dade County. And we have a mission to empower young people through music. And we believe that music is a powerful tool for transformation and for the empowerment of young people and the development of young people. And that's something that we're incredibly passionate about. We provide early childhood music to students in grades K through 2 and a choral performance program for kids in grades 3 and up. One of the key reasons why we do what we do is for the well-being of young people, and mental health is a huge part of that. And so we take a very holistic approach to our music education, and part of it are the benefits that music has on the well-being and the mental health of young people. And we know that research shows that when people are together, that their mental health, it improves. And when they participate in activities like ours, that their mental health improves. And this is something that is just key and important to the health and well-being of all people. So it's something we're very passionate about, that we believe in. Last summer, Wellspring came out and did a wonderful workshop with our students about emotions and feelings and how to recognize, first of all, what they are, that they're okay to have. And they also gave our students tools to deal with certain feelings and to know what to do when they're feeling a certain way. And above all, to know that it's okay to have any of these feelings. And so I felt like it was just a wonderful place for our students to start with knowing and understanding their emotions, which are a big part of who they are and are oftentimes things that are pointing toward something, and what to do when you have these feelings. And just having the tools, I think, is a huge asset to our daily lives, because we all go through the gamut of feelings, the wide spectrum of emotions and feelings throughout a day, and things that happen to us and things that we experience. And I feel like a lot of times young people don't have the tools necessary to know how to handle these things. And so that was really what the workshop was about. It was about, what are emotions? They're okay to have. Here are things you can do when you're feeling a certain way. And it just was really helpful. And I also loved that the facilitator included science and the why behind, like, why the brain does certain things, and how science connects with emotions and the tools, and how all of that works together. So I thought that was really, really, really great. I encourage donors to give to this wonderful organization, because the work that you're doing is literally saving lives and making a huge difference in the lives of people, young people, old people, all people. So thank you for what you do and for the way that you gave to our organization to help us with our students as well.
So my name is Stacy Morales, and I work for Greater Miami Youth for Christ. And we serve about 3,000 youth annually throughout our county, throughout Miami-Dade County, in lots of different places. We have meetings in juvenile justice facilities, in detention halls, halfway houses, things like that. We meet with kids on campus, all throughout different schools throughout our county, middle schools and high schools. And then the area where I serve is a model we call City Life Kicks, and it's a community-based model. So we meet young people in different communities, in under-resourced communities, where kids have the highest need. And so we go in and have different, we have a youth center in West Homestead, and then we partner with a few churches, one in Goulds and one in North Miami. So we meet just in all different places. We meet to reach kids who need to hear about the love of Jesus. And we want them to come into relationship with him. That's our prayer. But we really just want to do life with kids. We want to build authentic Christ-sharing relationships with young people all across our county, wherever they're at. We want to go to them, and we want to serve and love them. Mental health is critical. It's right? Critical to who we are. It's a part of everything of who we are. It affects the choices we make. It affects how we just walk through everyday life. It affects our relationships. How mentally healthy we are will help us in just all the different relationships we have, how we succeed in school. So because we work with young people, we know that young people who aren't healthy mentally, that they're gonna struggle in school in a different way than maybe somebody else that doesn't have those same kind of struggles. And many of the kids we work with have gone through trauma, so many different kinds of trauma. And so we know that young people who have had those situations, that just everyday life is difficult. And so we know that it's critical to become healthier mentally. And we know that doesn't just happen. We know it takes work. It takes work. So that's why I think it's really important. So the kids we're working with today, it's important for their families, for them to be mentally healthy, and important for their parents, but also for their families in years to come, the families they're gonna have. Some of us, we maybe didn't deal with things from when we were younger, and now we're seeing the effects it's having on our own children and our our spouses. And so, wow, if we could help our kids become mentally healthy now at middle school, high school age, then we're going to have healthier families. So that's really important for us too. Wellspring has really been a partner of ours for many, many years. I was trying to think of how many years. It has to have been over 10. Maybe even long. I'm not really exactly sure when, but so Wellspring has, initially it was more like, I've known Tova for years, so it was one of those things when I knew somebody, a family or a child was going through something, I would call her for advice. She would help us walk through things. We maybe even would get one of the Wellspring counselors involved with one of our families on a really personal level, maybe with just the kids, and even with some of our families. Some of the families that we've had have had really serious things happen to them, family members murdered or domestic violence, sexual abuse, so many different things. And so Wellspring has really come alongside of us in those instances. And then when Bounce Camp started, that was just amazing. So many of our young people have gone through Bounce Camp. In fact, I was just with the parent of one of our kids who went through one of the very first Bounce Camps. This young lady is in her sophomore year of college now, and she went through it. I think she was in 5th grade when she did it, and her dad had been murdered. And so she went through Bounce Camp, and her mom, this is now 9-10 years later, her mom and I were just talking, and she said, Zena still remembers Bounce Camp. Still, those things were helpful, are helpful to her today, that she learned back then 10 years ago. We also, one of our staff, it helps our staff, right? Because even kids who go through Bounce Camp, one of our young people who we knew went through Bounce Camp was really struggling one day and making some decisions and choices and was just really, really having a hard day. And one of my staff just said, what did you learn in Bounce Camp? What did you do that helped you? And she said, I threw potatoes at a wall. And my staff person took this young girl to the store. They bought a bag of potatoes. They came back to Kicks and started throwing potatoes at the wall. And so just the different things they've learned throughout Bounce Camp and different times that they've spent with Wellspring counselors has just been such a blessing. So those were big things. And then another way that Wellspring has come alongside of us during COVID for a whole year, a few of the counselors actually through Zoom, we're meeting with our students once a week and helping those kids during that year, a very critical year, right? Helping them how to find ways that they could deal with the feelings that they were experiencing during that time, really practical things that they were doing, activities they were doing with them every single week for a whole school year. Right now, a big part of our grant with Ocean Reef is the trauma-informed care. Right? We had 2 classes of our staff, 13 staff was being trained on trauma-informed care, caring for the traumatized, and then self-help for the caregiver. So such critical things that you guys came in and spent time with us, many hours with our team, and helping us to recognize trauma in young people, and also how to even when we're dealing with so many kids that have trauma, there's some things that we need to do for ourselves too. So we learned some really practical ways to ground ourselves and walk through different activities when we ourselves are dealing and helping walk alongside kids that are going through so much trauma. And so I'm really, really grateful for the beautiful partnership we've had with Wellspring for so many years. And if we really want to have healthy people, healthy communities, healthy families, we have to support the work that Wellspring is doing. We have to support the work around mental health.
So hi, my name is Cristina Rionda Gonzalez, and I have the privilege of serving on the Westminster Christian School Parent Partner Board. So that's my role in the school and how I help out in the school.
Good morning, my name is Gabby Bestard, and I serve as the president of the Westminster Parent Partners. And this is the parent association of the school that is in charge of taking care and being the connection between the administration of the school and the parents in the community. Part of our goals in our board is to make sure that we have a healthy community and we build connections in between our community. And that is so important for our society nowadays. So mental health, I think, is the biggest challenge, one of the biggest challenges that we have nowadays. And we think that keeping our community healthy is going just to improve everybody's lives and just our society.
So one of the things that we are tasked with in the Parent Association Board is that we bring in a speaker once a month to talk about something that is important and relevant to our parents at school. And so we think mental health is very important, and we have partnered with Wellsprings on this topic, and we're very happy we have. So we had the privilege of having Nicole Alonso, one of your licensed mental health counselors, come out to our community, to our school. And we had a talk, and the topic was raising emotionally, socially, and spiritually healthy kids. She based it on the book called Are My Kids on Track? And we had very positive feedback from our parents regarding the talk. So it was wonderful to have, all of you come out, and it was wonderful for our community and for our parents.
Everybody says that it takes a village to raise our kids. And I really think we're all in that same goal, in that same page in our school and in our community. And when we get tools from professionals on how to face the day with our kids, that's pretty much priceless. So Nicole was very assertive and real in how to communicate with our kids. And it was just like, she was very assertive in what people needed to hear, because what people were struggling with. And it's in the communication with our kids, in keep the boundaries, but at the same time being the same loving parents that we all want to be. So it was very rich, and it was very, very useful. We were very thankful and grateful for that conversation.
Sometimes people look at mental health and they say, oh, that's bad, you have a problem, you need mental health, counseling. But the way I see it in life, you have a mentor for work. Our kids go to coaches to get better in their sports. If we don't feel well, we go to the doctor. So I think it's like a no-brainer that, mental health is something that we get help with, and it helps us, I think it helps the whole entire person. And when you are a better person, you portray that to other people, and it's so much better for you in your daily life, in your, interactions with other people, communicating. I just think that mental health is so important overall for everything that you do.
Yes, definitely. I agree that we used to see a mental health issue or just going to a counselor or to a psychologist as a weakness before. And I think that right now we're transitioning into that it's not a weakness to search for mental health help. It's more to keep your balance. It's more about a daily need and I think our society is moving towards that, going from, instead of a weakness, it's now balance. It's now another health measure that we take into being healthy and happy.
Say that we are so grateful for the partnership that we have been able to have with Wellsprings Counseling. Like I said, we as a school feel very strongly about bringing very important leaders in the community, people that can speak to our parents about different topics. And Wellspring Counseling is amazing. The fact that you are Christian-based to us is very important, coming from a Christian school. And we have seen the energy, how well the topic was received. So we just can't wait to partner with you guys next year and bring some amazing topics that you guys provide to our community, to our parents. So really looking forward to that.